Jackson County Today. Hot topics, relevant stories, and news developments that affect our community.
Keeping roads in good shape isn't just about fixing potholes. It's about planning for a future where funding is far less certain. The Jackson County Roads Department is proposing a budget that shifts focus to maintenance, as several funding sources decline and long-term revenue remains uncertain.
Materials and services had a 1.31% increase compared to the adopted. There are some account level changes. $435,000 reduction in contracted services. $231,000 moved to the road maintenance. $100,000 moved to bridge maintenance. $78,000 moved to consulting services. $150,000 reduction in projects because they're not planning any projects for 26, 27. I don't want to get into all of the philosophy, but realize the taxes the legislature passed didn't get implemented. This special session was a lot about ODOT funding. Really, we're concerned about it being a transportation system funding package, not just looking at ODOT's problems. We don't want to rush out and spend a whole bunch of money on projects while we don't have that. We need to dial back and focus on road maintenance and our pavement index. An increase of $1.59 million in machinery. This is a fuel system replacement project, so it's a big cost. Those are the major things that stand out in their budget, and then I don't know what you want to add, Steve, but go ahead.
I just would add that what we're proposing is a pretty conservative budget all across the board, I would say. Not major increases. As Danny mentioned, staff down from the capital project list. We're just basically doing projects that we have to do, like storm damage repair on Tiller Trail Highway and West Evans Creek Road. We'd be silly not to do the one on Tiller Trail because it's a 10% match to 90% of federal funds. So that was a declared event. So we're turning a little bit over $1.6 million of local money into $15+ million for that project to get done and hopefully get a permanent fix on that. And that's where we try and position ourselves, is to have flexibility and money in our bank that I've talked about before in our road fund particularly, so that we can match either a bridge replacement project grant or a grant like the one I just talked about, to leverage that little bit of money that we have towards millions of dollars of federal funds. So that's trying to focus on those needs, and then, as Danny mentioned, taking care of the assets that we currently have.
Steve could say this, but I'll say it. We're okay right now, but if there's not something done, we'll be making significant cuts a few years out. So I'm just telling you all that right now. We are dependent on something to happen with increased revenue to take care of our roads. Now, not every county's in our position where we manage this money well and carry this fund balance and, can focus on the things that are, you all know how much the pavement index matters. And if we don't keep it to 70%, we start costing ourselves tenfold to do repairs or replacements. So that's where we're going to focus. But this is one of those things where, the reduction in collection of gas tax has directly affected our budget. And that has to do a lot with electric vehicles, but also people buying less gas for all sorts of reasons. Right now, it's probably due to expense. I think we were buying fuel for under $3. Like, we don't pay tax because we're a government agency, under $3 a gallon, and now we're paying $5 a gallon. Doubles the motor pool costs. If that persists, we'll do probably another mid-year charge out like we did when the cost of vehicles went up so significantly. And that will hit everybody's budget, but it'll especially hit the people that travel a lot, like the sheriff, the surveyor, development services, who are all everywhere in the county doing, their work.
As Danny mentioned, and you'll hear it in my budget presentation, is we're entering that point now, at least from our cash flow projections, that in the next year we're starting to eat into our road fund reserves for capital projects that need to happen. As I mentioned, it'd be crazy for us not to leverage that money. But next year, or very soon thereafter, we'll be eating into that money in our reserves to be able to maintain our current level of service just for operations at that point. So we're very hopeful that something happens. And we're very hopeful that whatever happens doesn't reduce county's share of the state highway fund at the expense of others.